Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good day today. It was a good day for me. School went pretty quick, and then I went and met a couple friends I haven't seen in a few years, um, mostly because of COVID. Um, his wife has a compromised immune system, so it's still a big deal for her. So, um, but we went out and had coffee and hung out, and uh, then I went and picked up my friend and we hung out for a bit more, went for a drive, another coffee, and chilled out. And now I'm home. What did I wear today? It was a nice, cool, crisp fall day. Um, just the right amount of coolness in the air today. It wasn't very cold, which is surprising because it's been very cold lately. A little bit of snow even come down, about an inch, nothing, not even that much, half an inch. So nothing really to worry about, but it's a nice day. It's a nice day, and this is what I wore: coffee and whiskey by Bath and Body Works. I haven't really talked about this one for a minute, so I'm really worn. Oh, jeez, I love that stuff. I haven't really worn it in a little while either. That's the thing. I don't know if I dropped this and broke the spray, or if it was like that when I first got it and didn't notice. But the spray is really horrible on it. Feels like I dropped it at some point, but I don't remember. But it still gets the job done. Whew, it's good stuff. Um, so I applied it. I put two in my moisturizer. Um, boom. Now, normally I would use the moisturizer that came with it, but I wanted to see what it would look like because this is very strong. So I wanted to see how it would work normally, and it didn't quite live up to a combination of this and this, but it wasn't bad. So I put two in my moisturizer, one, two, one on the chest, shirt on, one, two, one, one. Um, it was a good amount. It was a good amount. 5, 6 sprays, perfect amount. Um, I can only find two listed notes in this for everywhere, almost everywhere I look. Um, and that they're coffee, and the notes are coffee and whiskey, and they're very accurate. You get a ton of both. You get a nice roasted coffee. I mean, right as soon as you spray this, there's not really any citruses or florals or lights or anything like that. There's a floral in it, but I'll get into that. It's not. It's literally bang. Here you go, coffee and whiskey. I said for the first few minutes, it's straight just coffee and whiskey, mostly coffee, a nice roasted coffee. Um, but then you pick up, about 10 or 15 minutes into it, this really nice, creamy, so I'm assuming sandalwood, creamy like vanilla comes up with a slight powdery lavender. Um, they're never the main play. I mean, the sweetness is the sweetness. It's a sweet. It's coffee and a sweet Irish cream, basically. Um, this has no right to be as good as it is, considering the house. Because Bath and Body Works, let's be real, well, good for the price. They're that good for the price. This is incredible for that price. Um, I mean, Bath and Body Works really stepped up their game with this one. I'm telling you. Now, I'm not going to say, a lot of people on here will be like, oh, I got a scratch. Hold on a sec, guys. Itchy, it just wouldn't stop. Um, I'm not going to say it's niche quality. I don't think it's quite that good. And it's not as good as a high-end designer, Dior, a Givenchy, um, things like that. But more in the quality of like a Polo or a Versace, that kind of like a decent designer. That's kind of what you get with this, and for that price, it's really good. Like I could see a Versace, probably not Polo, but Versace putting out something like this. Even a YSL might put out something like this. I could see that. Um, but is it niche quality? I don't. I've got a few niches. I've smelled a bunch more, and believe me, there's not a big difference between niche and high end designer. That's the thing. Is like you might think because of everybody who talks about it on here, especially niche snobs, that, oh, it's night and day. No, between I mean, I can't speak for every niche, but the more popular ones, the Creeds, the Perfumes de Marley, uh, yeah, they're the only two that are really super popular. Montal, things like that, by Killian. They're really, really good, but they're not any better than Dior. Do you know what I mean? Like, so maybe slightly in terms of quality of ingredients, but again, it's not night and day. So, yeah, this isn't in that category, I don't think, in either one of those. Like designer or niche, or top end designer or niche, it's not in that category. But it would fit perfectly well in the area that upper mid tier designer, Polo, Versace, them kind of designers. It would fit perfectly in there. It's that kind of quality, so good for that price, especially. Um, it gets compared to a few niches. I don't know. I've never smelled them. Uh, by Killian Black Phantom, I believe it is, and Montal Intense Cafe. Uh, don't know. And then it gets compared to a couple of top end designers, uh, Terry Mugler's Amen, Pure Malt, and Mesa Mancharo's Coffee Break. Them two I have smelled. I recently smelled Coffee Break just the other day. I was debating whether to get it, and that's kind of what made me want to wear this. Um, and I don't like it as much as this. It's better quality, of course, but again, not leaps and bounds. Um, I just like this a little bit. Coffee Break's a little lighter, a little more on the fresher side of coffee. This is that dark roasted. You're roasting coffee. I mean, it is, and it really does smell at the end of the day like a roasted coffee. But I'll get into that. So that's how I applied it. Performance really good. 7-8 hours. Projected a solid 2 hours. Arm's length out there. Come in for about 5 hours. About 4 hours. Give you a nice bubble, and then you get about an hour of a skin set, and then it's kind of gone. And the whole time, that's the smell you're getting, guys, is coffee and whiskey. A sweet, creamy coffee and a slightly spicy whiskey. That's the whole scent. I mean, like I said, just pick up a little lavender. Sure, you do. A little powdery lavender. Yeah, absolutely. But it's never forward. It's just adding a little bit to the vibe of the fragrance. Um, so yeah, like I said, they're the two notes you get. You're definitely gonna get some sandalwood in this, giving that creaminess, the fresh powdery lavender, um, vanilla, of course, uh, and an amber. The base is kind of a musky amber, but still with that coffee. Mostly the coffee, and the whiskey is kind of still there, but it's kind of almost a whiskey sour now. It's a little tinge of sourness to it, but it's just gorgeous, start to finish. That's all I can say about it. Um, Compliments. I never got any until I went to pick up my friend. This is about 5 hours in. She gets in the car, um, and she's like, "Oh man, I really like that one. It kind of smells like coffee. Are we going for coffee?" I said, "Yeah, I know it is." She's right. I said, "Yeah, it smells like coffee. It is coffee." She picked up on the coffee immediately, and she said it was sweet, and she really liked it. So it'll get you compliments. Um, do I think it's a compliment? Monster? No, no. Coffee and whiskey. Well, most people like coffee and whiskey. Most people love the smell of coffee or the smell of whiskey. Coffee's not really a when you use it as a main player in a fragrance. It's kind of a little bit. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. It's just not usual. So most people, well, they love the smell of coffee. They're a little put off by the smell of coffee in a fragrance. It's just the way it is. But it's definitely not unpleasant though. Once people get over that initial like, ooh, coffee, like that's kind of weird, but I like it. That's kind of what you're gonna get. So yeah. So at the end of the day, what does it smell like? It smells like a Irish cream coffee. Bang. Simplest way I can put it. It's what it smells like. Irish cream coffee. You know what that smells like if you're over 19. Most of you, if you're over 13, 14, you know what that smells like. Um, it's great. All right, guys, that's it. Peace, love, be good to each other, and be good to yourselves.